I'm Arya Schwartz along with Rachel Galligan, and welcome to the Winsidr show where it's all about the W. This episode, we are jumping out of our seats in excitement to welcome to the show Awak Kuier. Standing at 6'5", she plays for the Finland national team, and she plays professionally in Italy this ongoing season. The 19-year-old is projected a WNBA lottery pick this coming draft. If you like our show, please consider joining our Patreon community, patreon.com/Winsidr. For less than a cup of coffee a month, you can directly show support for the hard work we do covering the W. And don't forget to see our amazing staff's written content over at winsidr.com. While you're over there, you can see the overseas tracker. It's live now. You can see where your favorite WNBA players are playing overseas, all in one place. And also make sure to keep up to date on all the free agency moves with our free agency tracker on Winsidr.com. We have a great episode for you and perfect timing for a few reasons. During the NCAA tournament, there's been much discussion about the impact of one-and-dones in the college women's game, with the likes of Paige Beckerts, Caitlin Clark, and Cameron Brink. But Awak is their age, and with one overseas season under her belt, is flagged by many as a lottery pick in the WNBA draft that's just a handful of days away. We are very excited to welcome to the show a name and face that will be taking the WNBA by storm, Awak Kuier. We are so excited to welcome to the show one of the most electrifying players in women's basketball in the world, Awak Kuier. Awak, how are you? How are you doing? And where are you these days?
I'm doing well, and I'm in Italy right now, playing for the first division of Italy. And other than that, I'm doing very well, and I'm very thankful for you to have me on the show.
Yeah, we are so excited. You have an incredible story, and I think it's important for us to kind of share that with the WNBA community and really the women's basketball community here in the States. So why don't we start from the very beginning? You got to Finland at a very young age. Go ahead and tell us about your journey.
So my family is from South Sudan. So there was a civil war, so they had to move to Egypt, and that was when I was born. So I was born in Egypt, and then I was like turning 2, and then my family decided to move to Finland, and that's how I got to Finland. Yeah.
So they decided to get to Finland, and you've been there since you were 2 years old. What about your journey with basketball? When did you start playing basketball, and how did you fall in love with this game that you're so good at?
So I started basketball when I was 11, turning 12. So it was like, but before I started basketball, I always was playing basketball with my brothers and my friends. So it was a sport that was like always with me since I was younger. But I started at a club when I was 11, and I would say just like the feeling of just being with the team and like winning games and doing well, like really sparked my interest of it, and I started to like it more and more, and eventually fall in love with the game.
What about some influential people in your life? I mean, family members or teammates, maybe coaches. Who are some people along the way that have helped you along your journey?
I would say my brother, because he started basketball before me, and he was always pushing me to like keep going, and he would always play with me. So I would say my brother, and also my coach from Finland, who has been with me almost my whole entire career and has always helped me in everything I needed help with. And he's also the coach of the Finnish national team. So we're very close with him.
Yeah, let's talk about that. I mean, you really jumped out onto the scene here in America, at least in the coaching community. I mean, at a young age. I personally have gotten a chance to watch you compete with the national team in under 16s, also under 18s, and you were all of the buzz. You were the only, I mean, everybody was talking about you and wanting to recruit you. What has it been like to represent your national team on such a high stage from such a young age?
It's been great because like even though people are there to like look at me, there's also like in a way I'm giving a chance to my teammates too who might like have a good performance and they can like be seen also. So I think it's really amazing to like have that kind of opportunity and also like at a young age. And usually in Finland, we don't really have that type of opportunities where like high schools are trying to like look for our players because we're not like that famous for basketball in women's side. So it's really, really amazing and I'm very happy about it.
It's got to be a huge experience for you, but I'm very curious. For most American players, and you touched on this a little bit, it's very common for the big schools to come and recruit the big names. But you made probably a tough decision. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but you chose to not come over and play for a collegiate team in America. Can you just tell us what kind of went into your decision to play professionally overseas, as opposed to possibly coming to America?
Yeah, so first of all, everyone in Finland was going to like America, like it was really popular for everyone to go to America. So I feel like that made it a little bit harder also for me to choose to go to Europe. But I would say just like when I talk to my agents and my coach, it's like when I compare them, I feel like I would like going to Europe, like I would learn more in a shorter period of time, if that makes sense. It's like I feel like I could get the experience that I need from Europe like right away, which is like something that I really needed for to improve my game.
Well, and for those of you listening and for those who don't know, I mean, you're just still 19 years old, correct? You turned 20 in August, if I'm not mistaken. So, I mean, you would be the equivalent of a freshman in college right now, which is, I mean, if you're a freshman here in the States, you don't have the option to declare for the WNBA draft. You have to wait until you're either you're done or you graduate, or you're 22 years old. So, very just important to note, you're just 19 years old. You're still very young and playing at the highest levels internationally. I just wanted to kind of make sure we threw that out there for our listeners.
And I think like a really interesting aspect of that is, I don't know if you've been paying attention at all to March Madness, the women's tournament going on right now in America. There's been a lot of talk about these young players in who are freshmen in America, and how a lot of people who aren't aware of the W are, why can't we have these freshmen do one and done and go into the league? I mean, you essentially are doing a path that I think a lot of people would agree with, that hopefully down the road we'll be able to do. But for the fans who have heard your name, who don't necessarily know much about your game, they might know you're 6'5", you play big, but describe your game. What sets you apart from some of the other players that you've gone up against?
I would say I'm like very versatile and like I do a lot of things. So I can shoot the ball, dribble the ball, and play a little post up too. So it's like I feel like I could be used for many things. And also, I would say I'm a very good defensive player, and I like to play defense. So I feel like that's also a good thing. And other than that, I'm very competitive and always playing hard. And yeah,
And you could dunk.
yeah.
I remember were we in Skopje? I don't remember where we were, but yeah, you threw one down and I about fell out of my seat. I was so excited to see that. Yeah, I mean the length that you have is so exciting, and I know that the fans are just going to go just crazy when you get over here. I mean, you average close to a double double. You're a rebounding machine. You've proven that you can really score the ball in bunches. But what are some areas of your game at this point of your career? Still very early. I think we all can agree your ceiling is unlimited. But what are some areas of your game coming from your perspective that you feel like you've got to get better at?
I would say just like getting some more moves in my game because in Finland we didn't really work on like moves. It was more about like the team. So I would say just like new moves and then just like getting physical, of course, like more physical and um Yeah, I think that the having the new moves, I feel like is for me right now very important because then I can like use them more in the game.
Yeah, absolutely. What about was there a player either on the men's side or the women's side that you kind of looked at when you were kind of growing up, or even that you look at now that you like to model your game after?
For sure, I would say Candice Parker. Like I've known her since I was really young, and I looked up to her a lot, and I feel like she resembles my game also. So it's always been a person that I like love to look at.
Well, I think that's a really good one. That's a phenomenal one. Candice Parker, yeah, shout out to Candice Parker, who's headed back to Chicago. She's going to be with the Sky this year. That's definitely exciting. I grew up just south of Chicago, so the Sky have always kind of been my hometown team. I'm a big fan of Candice Parker. I played her when I was in high school, and I'm not going to tell you what happened because it was very ugly. um, you've played at a really high level, especially this past year, being in Italy. Who are some of the top players that you've gone up against, maybe who are in the WNBA right now?
I just played against Howard, Natasha
Oh,
Howard, I think that's
Yeah,
her
yeah.
name.
absolutely.
And she was really good, really good offensive player, which was like she was really hard to guard. But her and who else? I mean, I feel like the one that really stood up to me was her
Yeah.
because yeah, it was really hard to defend against her.
There's a lot of things about your game that kind of remind me of her game in some ways, from the length and just the ability to play with your back to the basket and face up. So that's a good one. I would have loved to have seen that matchup. I don't know why I didn't see that one, but
We gotta find that one on YouTube and then
yeah, we'll have to
cut
get
up some highlights, right?
yeah, we'll have to get some clips. Okay, so Awak, we are entering a really big time. You're finishing up season. You're preparing for the WNBA draft. I think that you are arguably a number one draft pick. I think that you are gonna go as a lottery pick when one of the first four selections. How are you feeling right now about coming over here, about getting drafted? Has this been a dream of yours for a really long time?
Yes, it has. As soon as I knew that I wanted to play like professionally, it's been my dream. So for me to be in this position is really crazy to me, and especially to be like one of the first Finnish players to be drafted so high. It's like it's really crazy to me. I feel like I don't really believe it until it happens. So I'm very excited to come to America and start the training camp. And overall, I would say I'm more excited than nervous.
Have you ever
I,
been over here to the States?
Yeah, I have been a couple times for these camps.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
well, you had mentioned that you're competitive, so I have to ask, and this is a little tongue-in-cheek, fun question, but does it matter to you what number you're drafted at? Because I know, some people like having the bragging rights of saying I was this numbered pick, I was that numbered pick, but does it matter to you?
I mean, it's always like really great to be picked as number one. So it's something I wish that could happen. But if I get picked at two or three, is still for me. I would say like close to being the same because for me to even like be in this position, like I feel like it's really cool and like amazing. So I would say it's better to be number one, but if I get picked two or three, I still feel like a number one.
That's the perfect response. I mean, I know it's a little bit early, but do you have any plans to do anything special for draft night? Even though I'm thinking about the time change and it's probably going to be at a horrible hour for you. So I apologize. But do
Yeah.
you have any plans?
So it's I mean it's sad that I can't be with my family, but my teammates are very excited. Like I feel like they're way more excited than me. So we've been like trying to get us all together, and hopefully if my agents can come too, it would be really amazing. So we just probably gonna I'm just gonna be with my team, my coaches, and my management managers. But other than that, there's not much to do because of the
Right.
COVID. Yeah.
Well, you're in Italy, so let's get you some pizza or something. But talk to me about, I mean, a little bit more of a light into who you are as a person. What are your long-term goals? Like, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
I would see myself definitely playing the WNBA, but
Nice.
I would say doing something that like matters. I feel like I always wanted to be a part of something really big, so I would say just doing something important and probably just helping people. I would say, yeah.
That's a
I love
phenomenal
it.
response. I like that. It's a good one.
For a little bit more fun, like, what do you do besides basketball? What do you do for fun? Do you play other sports? Are you a gamer? Do you sing? Like, I know you don't just play basketball 24/7. So give us a little preview into your life.
Well, I do a little bit of everything. I mean, I like to dance. Me and Izzy, we do a lot of TikTok dances, so that's one hobby that we have in common. And I like to draw. I like to watch movies, hang out with my teammates, and I like to play other sports too. I mean, I love playing volleyball during the summer when it's warm.
I bet
Beach
you're a
volleyball.
I bet you're a really good blocker.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, good. Yeah, volleyball. Yeah, I would imagine if you didn't play basketball, that would probably be something you would be exceptionally good at as well. What about like traveling? You're in Italy now, but I mean, what are some of your favorite countries and cities to visit?
Well, my dream has always been that I could travel back to my um, country, so South Sudan.
Yeah.
But I feel like with the national team, I haven't had a lot of time to travel. I feel like it's been a lot of basketball these past 5 years, so it hasn't been that easy. But I mean, I would love to travel. I mean, everywhere, basically.
Yeah,
Um, Italy is very pretty, and Spain,
I love Spain.
Portugal, yeah.
Yeah.
Rachel's being humble. Rachel played a little bit of overseas basketball in Spain, so she obviously has an affinity for it. But I'm curious for you. I always like to ask this to players coming into the league. Where do you take more pride in your game? Is it defense or offense? Like, where do you what gets you hyped up? What makes you excited to kind of get that next play in and really, jazzes you up?
Um, I would say both in a way because when you get a really good defense, it feels like really amazing. Like you feel very hyped, but also if you score a tough basket, it's also very hyped. So I would say both in a way for me, especially because for me, defense is like as important as the offense.
I
Good
love it.
answer.
A good block can hype you up like, in my opinion, a nice block can hype you up more than a cool basket can any day. So, but I also am like barely 6 feet and can't block for crap. So,
It's interesting you say that. Last night. Well, we're recording this on Monday, but on Sunday there was a really good Sweet 16 game between Maryland and Texas. And Texas came in with a phenomenal defensive game plan. And Maryland, for those who listening aren't aware, they have a crazy good offense. And it was just really fun to see those two contrasting styles of play go at it. And ultimately, defense came out on top in that game. So as a former coach, I definitely appreciate you taking pride on the defensive end of the floor. I've got two questions for you, at least, and then I'll be done. Aria, you can follow up if you have more. But first one, do you have a message that you want to get out to the women's basketball fans in America before you get over here?
I would say just like for me, I would say I'm very happy to have this opportunity to come there, and I promise that I will put my all in every game and every practice, and I'm just overall very happy to come there and very excited.
You're very nice.
Thank you.
You're very nice, but I'm just going to put this in terms for the WNBA fans. Watch out, because we got a wrecking ball coming through. All right. Watch out.
And at the same time, I can tell you right now, they are going to adore you. You are going to be embraced with open arms. We cannot wait to watch your career take off. It's going to be so exciting. And finally, I love asking this question to all sorts of great women all over the world. What advice do you have for young players anywhere in the world, in your home country, in Italy, who maybe have a dream that they're trying to achieve? What advice would you give them to help them reach that?
I would say to keep going. I feel like keep going and like don't stop. Even though if you are having like a rough time and basketball is not going so well, just to like keep going, because if you just keep going, I feel like good things are always gonna happen. So, and be brave also, and I mean, sky's the limit for everyone who is like willing to work for it. So just try to do your best always and dream big.
I love it. We're extremely thankful for your time.
And we are.
And yeah, just very appreciative, especially because I know it's what, like 9:30, almost 10 o'clock for you. Very appreciative. That's all we got for this episode. Thank you again, and all the best luck for the rest of your overseas career or your overseas season. And can't wait to see you playing over here on this side of the pond.
Thank you so much.